Okay, so today is March 16th, and the topic of today's reading from the book Affirmations for the Inner Child by Rocker Learner is Adolescence. Today I will be patient with my inner adolescent. A cacophony of sound assaults the ears as a symphony orchestra tunes their instruments. The disquieting bleats, screeches, and bellows are quite unlike the harmonious and beautiful music to come. If patrons prejudged the scheduled performance solely by the tune-up, they would leave in a huff, never guessing the splendor of the music to follow. Adolescence is like the tuning of a symphony orchestra. A whirling of emotions, decisions, and actions creates distortion and confusion for adolescents and adults alike. It takes a good amount of patience to outlast the cacophony and await a beautiful symphony. Sometimes I am once again an adolescent, creating ugly, disjointed noises of my own. Too often I become discouraged by mistaking this confusion for the end result. Today I will see it as the tuning up process, the preparation for a great symphony to come. So, well, yes, that is the reading of today, which is inviting us. Uh, basically, uh, again, be a little bit patient with ourselves, right? With the process of growing up and reminding us that, well, it's just a part of life, right? We cannot expect for us to be grown ups as just as soon as we get out of the womb, for example, right? Or just as soon as we learn how to speak. Speech is just something that is very difficult to master, and right, linking our thoughts with our tongue is very complicated. It's a very complex process, let alone mixing it or linking our thoughts with our actions, right? So that process of growing up can be difficult sometimes, right? Can be people don't understand it, right? And like the reading says, well, it can be misunderstood most of the time. What we cannot do is to stay and remain the same all the time. That is something that I don't agree with. You have to grow up, right? Eventually, you have to say, well, okay, that is true. I can agree with that, with the fact that perhaps to some extent, we should allow ourselves to grow up, but we cannot be an adolescent all our lives, right? And that's when I usually say that, well, if you're a grown up, right, if you're over 30, you cannot keep up with the same behavior that you had when you were 20, right? That is something that I just don't agree with. Try to evolve for the very least, right? At the very least, try to evolve. It's complicated because people are so used to the way they are that at the end they don't end up finding a reason to, well, to evolve, right? To change their habits and their adolescent ways. And that can be frustrating sometimes because then you realize that people behave like adolescents all the time when they are old and mature. And that can be tiresome for someone that is already grown up or that has left behind those old attitudes from the past, right? It's complicated. You can do it. You have to try to do your best to understand that process in others as well as in yourself. But at the very least, uh, try to encourage people to grow up, right? To grow out of that permanent state of adolescent behavior that can be frustrating sometimes. Nobody likes to listen to the tuning up of an orchestra all the time, every single time. It's exhausting, and yeah, you have to let it go at some point in your life. That would be my typical advice, right? In any case, if you like the reading, give it a thumbs up, leave any comments below, subscribe to the channel, share through social media, and as always, if Providence allows it, we will meet each other in a different day.